Hi, I'm Steve Wiley. I'm here at Interop this week, and I'm joined by Martin Casado, who is Chief Architect of Networking at VMware. Martin, welcome.
Thank you.
So you just wrapped up one of the Keynote panel discussions, and the panel really focused largely on software-defined networking.
Right.
I wonder if you could take us through, just sort of at a very high level, what is SDN?
Yeah, it's interesting. So SDN is now has a number of definitions, and I think that different segments view it differently, but all of them have the same theme. So I'm going to focus on not the specific definition of SDN, but kind of what it promises. So SDN promises to bring networking to have the same type of flexibility and programmability that we find in compute. So more functionality is provided in software, and more of that functionality is exposed to the users so the users can build their own systems. And so the promise is more flexibility, more speed to innovation, and also decoupling the software features from the buying of the networking hardware.
So looking down the road a bit, is the innovation in networking going to primarily take place at the application layer?
That's actually an interesting question. I don't think we know the answer to that. I mean, for the purpose of this panel, what's interesting is there are new voices now to the networking dialogue. I mean, the panel we had VMware, we had Microsoft, and we had a silicon vendor. We didn't have any of the traditional networking guys. And the reason is because now more functionality is moving to the edge system. So we have new voices. And the hardware that provides the transport, like the silicon guys, is becoming ever more exposed because the software guys have to know about it. And so I think what's more interesting or more prevalent is the fact that we have these new voices that are bringing the dialogue forward.
Okay, so we're here at Interop this week, and innovation is a big theme at the conference this week. I wonder if you could talk a little bit about what are some of those examples of innovation brought on by software-defined?
Well, it's interesting. So it's not clear where this technology will go. And I think in general, when you have new and innovative technologies, in the very beginning, you just solve something that seems maybe pretty mundane but easy to articulate. So for example, SDN today is largely being applied to the automation and provisioning problem, which is if you look at most cloud or large data centers, the network takes the longest time to automate or to provision, which means the time it takes to deploy a new application is too long, or the time it takes to onboard a new customer is too long. And so that is the problem that's being tackled today. But I don't want to undersell the importance of the movement, though. Even though that is the problem we focus on today, and network virtualization are problems we focus on today, I mean, ultimately, this is the way we'll be building networking in the future. And I think there are applications that we can't even conceive of today.
Okay, and just in closing, we're here at Interop. This is really the gathering of the IT industry every year. What's the big takeaway for them? What do you recommend that they look into when it comes to SDN in their own business?
Right. So I actually think there are two takeaways of this panel. The first one is so much of the discourse around SDN. So much of the discourse around SDN is that there's this big transformation that's happening, and when it comes, there's going to be this mass disruption, and there's going to be smoking carcasses all over the place. And I mean, there's this impending doom. And the reality is it's already happened. And so part of the panels we have, VMware, one of the largest software companies in the world. We have Microsoft, one of the largest software companies in the world, both saying that they use this, they deploy it at scale, right? And so the first one, instead of being worried about this big transformation happening, realize it's already happened, and now it's just about trying to figure out how to adjust in this new world. And the second one is, and I've already talked about this just a minute ago, is that there are new voices, and customers in particular are going to have to understand how to talk to these new voices in the dialogue. So for example, I'm at an edge host server software company, and I often talk with network teams, and we don't even have the same language or the same dialogue or the same history. And so there are new conversations that are happening. And so it's very, very important to the Interop vendors and the traditional networking guys to understand that these voices are changing and to become part of this dialogue. And together we'll move it all forward.
Well, Martin, thank you so much for your time today, and enjoy the rest of the week here at Interop.
I appreciate it. Thanks so much.